What's up, you guys? Godzilla Fan Freaks coming at you today with another figure review. And today, just reviewing a figure that I found in Target that just spoke to me. You know, I wasn't at Target for really any particular reason, just hanging out with some friends, and came across this guy. And there was just something about him that spoke to me. You know, I had to look at it. I think for it was like over 10 minutes. I was debating on if I really wanted to get it or not because it was just really cool to me. And this is from Jurassic World, and this is the Indoraptor. I want to call it the Hack and Slash Indoraptor. I think that's what it was called. I already trashed the packaging that he came in, but I think it was called the Hack and Slash Indoraptor. And, Jurassic World was all right. You know, it wasn't the best movie. And of course, they're going the route of creating dinosaurs and stuff. And the Indoraptor was all right. You know, it wasn't really that cool to me. And I didn't buy this because I liked the Indoraptor. I actually bought this because it's kind of a different color scheme than he was in the movie. What really stood out to me was he just looks sharp. Like, he looks really cool. I really like the shiny, glossy black that they used. I mean, it just really looks cool on him. And then this very nice, metallic, gold that they got going down the sides of them, then a little bit of reds around the eyes and everything. Like, it really stood out to me. And he just looked really flashy and sharp, and something was just telling me, you gotta have this on a shelf somewhere. You don't collect Jurassic Park or Jurassic World stuff, or dinosaurs really in general, but something was telling me, you gotta take this guy home because he's freaking cool. And so I did, and I'm happy with it. No buyer's regret. He looks great. I mean, what else can I say? I think the other thing that sold me on it was the way the eyes look when they light up, because he does have an eye light. He has lights and sounds and whatnot, and the eyes just looked really cool to me when they lit up. If I can find the button, it's kind of under his butt here on his tail. And both of his eyes light up and everything, and it probably won't show up on camera, but if you get really close, they painted the pupil on his eye and whatnot, and that just looks really cool when it's lit up. It looks really cool and evil, and, it's just kind of a nice, figure, and whatnot. Yeah, it's a kid's toy mainly, but, I mean, again, something just spoke to me, and I had to take this guy home. He was just way too cool for me to pass up, and just to get started on paint apps, again, that's what stood out to me was he's a different color than he was in the film. In the film, he was like a grayish, kind of white, I want to say. Kind of like the Indominus Rex from the previous film. But on this, he's a very shiny, glossy black. And then, of course, you have that very nice metallic gold line going down the side on both sides of his body. You have this red around the eyes. Just the lighting's not the best right now, but you got red coloring around his eyes. Shows it better on this side because of the way the light is right now. Looks really cool. He also has these little specks of glitter kind of on his feet, his hands and whatnot. Just interesting. I mean, it's different. Detail? I mean, I can live with these, gaps. They actually kind of blend in fairly well depending on how you have them posed. They almost just look like a fold of, skin or something like that. But, besides these little, eyesores of, I don't know what you would call them, but just the gaps and whatnot for the joints and everything. Detail's really nice. I mean, all that scaly skin looks good. His, spines or feathers in the middle of his towards the end of his back, and then up here on the top of his head look good. Face looks good. Again, eyes are really dark, but when they light up, they look killer. Let me see, and let me get my camera to focus. Let me see how good this pops up. Yeah. See how you could see the pupil? That showed up a lot better than I thought it was. That just looks cool. And again, that's on both sides. You know, it lights up and it just looks awesome. My camera focus again for me? Probably won't. But it just looks really cool. And so definitely the gimmick sold me. I mean, really awesome. Articulation. He has all these, you know, joints in his neck, in his kind of like abdomen area. And that's because he has this joint in the tail. Press the button accidentally. That you can wave back and forth. Again, he's like a hack and slash. You know, I think that was the name of it. So he has the button on the bottom that, of course, activates his jaw. And then he also has another kind of pullback button here on his tail that activates his, like, slashing effect with his arms and his hands. See how I can do this and get it in the shot good. And his eyes light up, but only for like brief seconds with the slashing motion. They don't stay lit for a few seconds when you when you activate his jaw. But other than that, he does have, you know, hinges in his legs, his knees, down here on his shins and stuff. He does have a little bit, kind of, not really, and I wouldn't want to break it, but he does have a little joint right there, but it really doesn't do anything. It just kind of wobbles. So I didn't know what they were doing there with that guy. But you just get him in a nice pose and he will stand very nicely. He doesn't have any other articulation other than in the arms. The arms have a hinge, but they're really tight. So that's the only thing. This is a kid's toy, but man, these hinges are... They go with the motion, too, of the hack and slash, but it almost looks like they could bend out more, but I really wouldn't want to force it. He does have elbow joints, but again, you really don't want to mess with them because they're really stiff. And in all honesty, probably can't tell it, but this arm here that's a little more bent, I broke it when I got home because I was trying to mess with that joint and trying to get it to bend. Because if you see this guy in stores, his arms are like straight out in front of him, like this one. They're just straight out. They just look bland. That was the only thing I didn't like about him. But I was like, well, he's got hinges, so they bend. So what the heck, I'll buy him. You know, why not? I can pose his arms. And then I get home. And then I try to mess with this one, and then what does it do? It just immediately breaks from how tight it is. And it's like, what the heck were they thinking, you know? It's like, I wonder how many other kids have their parents got them this guy, and then they immediately just break when they get home because they're trying to move the arms. Because again, his arms are just like this one. They're straight out. They have no bends in them. So this one I just super glued back together and I just gave it a little bit of a bend, so now it's permanently in place there. But he does have hinges on his wrists. Both of his wrists have hinges and you can turn them around. So you do got that, you know. Maybe in the future I'll figure out what I can do. I think I just need to heat up the joint and then maybe it'll bend. I don't know though, because they're really stiff. So I think even if you heat it up, it's still going to tear that joint and break it. So I might have to break this one if I want his other arm to be kind of more in like a certain pose instead of just straight out and bland. I mean, but for now, I mean, he looks all right, you know, with one kind of turned and curved. And, you know, you can move this hand and curve it in a little bit, whatever you want to do. But he looks good. Again, all the way around, detail, paint, his gimmicks and stuff. I mean, I just like the sound and light up gimmicks. I don't care about his, you know, hack and slash stuff that he does with the tail. I don't really care about that all that much. This guy just kind of sits and looks pretty with the Godzilla figures. But he looks good. Great figure. I mean, again, he just spoke to me and I had to bring him home. And I just thought I'd do a review on him. Because he's really cool. So, and if you like him, go to your local Target, pick him up. He's not that expensive. Really good figure. Again, just be wary of those elbow joints. They're really tight and you could break them unless you break them intentionally and then you super glue them back on for a certain type of pose or something. That works too. But anyway, great figure. Like it. Didn't expect to, you know, come home with something from Jurassic World and review it, but hey, this guy was too cool to pass up. So anyway, I think I covered about anything. I'm not going to go into scaling or whatnot because I don't even know what to scale him with. He's kind of his own little thing, but very cool. Very cool figure, and I hope you guys enjoyed. So, like always, we are Godzilla Fan Freaks. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video review. Thank you for watching.